Woo! I'm shaking some chicken booty.
Woo-hoo! Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Hollie.
Welcome.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Hollie.
How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. It's kind of warm today, but I shouldn't say that. Last time it was 1,000,000 degrees when we talked to you.
It's a perfect weather day here in Northern California. So I was out in the garden all day. I did wash my hands really well, but it's a glorious day to be out in the garden. So no shortage of stuff to do this time of year. So
there never is. I know. I was out in mine early this morning too, transplanting some things and hoping that the bugs don't get them.
It's been a bad bug year. A lot of complaints. I'm at the farmer's market. I feel like I'm Lucy, from the Peanuts, where she said and 5 cents. I'm like the garden doctor. People are bringing me photos. They have their bugs. This woman brought me a basil leaf that wasn't from a basil plant I sold her, but something that she bought elsewhere. What's wrong with it? What am I doing? And I'm all day long, I'm fielding gardening questions.
Wow, that's kind of good. If anyone has any gardening questions, ask them now.
Wait,
I'm happy to talk about it all day long.
On another show, Hollie, let's get you in your garden because that's a fun place to go.
Yeah, it is. I'll put my boots on and we can go in the garden. But we've got, we can harvest some stuff and show you how to harvest and dry, and that's fun too. So
yay,
lots of work to do.
And how are you, Lee?
Well, it's another day in the US of A. I'm wearing my Love is Love shirt because of yesterday. There's a lot of good news. But yesterday was a good day. And I just, I'm really, again, like we always say, just keeping on with the education of myself and what's going on in the movement. And I'm really been researching a lot of voter sites because I feel like, my God, we can say anything and we can talk the talk on all these social media and whatever, but unless the vote happens, and if you really want to do something, it's like you got to organize in your community. You got to get people, really activated to vote on every level in November. So I'm
not just blow smoke out your chicken butt.
Exactly. So I was really getting into the whenweallvote.org, which is super great website. It's Michelle Obama's thing, to just, organize. It's all about organizing, and it's a really comprehensive website. I encourage everybody to get on there in your communities across the U.S. Get connected.
You have one, Hollie?
I do, yeah. I'm involved with Fair Fight with Stacey Abrams' organization.
Good.
For those of you who don't know, she ran a great gubernatorial race in Georgia and unfortunately lost. However, she started this amazing organization, and it really helps. It's all about registering people to vote and trying to anti-gerrymandering in districts and stuff. And she's done a phenomenal job with that. So again, part of it is just making sure people have access, making sure that they, because Georgia is notorious for issues, as was evidence of just the election they had last week. So she's with her on the case. We're in good hands. So we all need to support her and all of their Fair Fight peoples.
I will post that up there too. I've been looking into LeBron James has a new organization that's called More Than a Vote, and that's focused on registering people of color to vote. So I'm excited about that one too.
Awesome. Nice. We're so happy to have you, Hollie. Tuesday.
You guys don't have to cook tonight.
Woo! What are we cooking?
Well, we're going to talk about vinegars. What's the deal with vinegar? What is the deal with vinegar? So we've done olive oil, salts, honeys. Now we're going to do vinegar.
Yay.
So vinegar, sorry. Let me just turn that off really quickly. Oops. Vinegar is a fermented liquid that generally comes from something like that has some sort of sugar originally in it. Like that's why you see apple cider vinegar, white wine vinegar, which comes from grapes, of course. So anything that has a fruit or something that has a sugar base, you can make vinegar out of. You can also make your own vinegar at home. One of the things that people ask me a lot about is what is the mother of vinegar?
What's the mother?
What's the mother? So the mother is that, especially in apple cider vinegar, a lot, if you get the natural one, there's sort of that foggy stuff at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's the beneficial bacteria and yeast that's called the mother. And those are the things that get activated by feeding them with things that have sugar in it, like the apples and the grapes and the white wine and the apple cider vinegar, that make it grow and turn wine into vinegar or turn apple juice into apple cider vinegar.
Wow.
So that's the process that it goes through. So you can do it with your own, you can do it yourself. There's lots of great instructional videos. I'll include a recipe on how to start your own vinegar if you want. To start your own mother is quite a process. It's a mother of a process.
So funny it's called mother.
I know.
I know. Well, David makes kombucha, and he's got. We often take the throwaway and use that as vinegar. Well, it is vinegar.
People like sort of like sourdough, yeast starter vinegars can be passed down from generation. You just it's basically like you just said, Debrianna, it's the end of it, of the barrel. You leave the last few inches and then you just pour in the juice again. That's what reactivates it. So there's beneficial bacteria in the mother, which creates beneficial bacteria in the vinegar, which is very, very good for us. A lot of talk about gut health and, your digestive health and beneficial bacteria.
What am I drinking right now? Kombucha.
That's one of the cornerstones of beneficial bacteria. So a lot of times you'll see people that are doing cleanses and they're drinking apple cider vinegar and things like that. So please do that, again, under the supervision of a doctor and healthcare professionals.
We're not doctors.
We're not doctors. We're not doctors. Go with the grain of salt, people.
We got or vinegar. So it's important to it is important to understand what that is. Just don't go chugging, vinegar. So you can purchase. There's lots of ways to purchase vinegar. You can do it when you see the foggy part. It still has the beneficial bacteria in it, which is sort of live. The yeast and bacteria are still live. When it's completely clear, that's been filtered. So you can do that. They do that with the, sort of the same material that a coffee filter is made out of. Basically what they do is they just filter all of that out. So that's why when you buy some vinegars, it's like crystal clear. There's no little foggy bacterial parts. That's fine too. It doesn't have the same beneficial health qualities as the other does, but it's still not bad for you and it's still great tasting. So it just depends. Also, depending on what the starter was for your vinegar, it can be labeled organic. So if the apples in your apple cider vinegar were originally organic, it can be called organic. Same with the grapes and the wine. So, again, always promoting organic is better, healthier, especially when you're fermenting something because you are concentrating it and you don't want to concentrate pesticides. That's bad. It's not good. So we're going to do some infused vinegars. These are, again, super easy. These are even easier than the olive oils because these are faster and the cleanup is super easy because you're basically using vinegar. So you're already sort of cleaning your
you can clean so many things with vinegar.
Yes.
Product. You're drinking the cleaning product.
No. Let's not go that direction.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Vinegar can clean.
It's clean. Okay. I'm not even going to touch that one. Okay. So, one of my favorite vinegars is, what my point was going to be, like the olive oils, I always use dried herbs. So even though vinegar has water in it, and you can use fresh, again, part of that bacterial process, it's just better to use dried, and you get a great result too. So my favorite vinegar that I ever first started making was with rose petals. See the rose petals?
Rose.
I just tried a whole bunch of those. Yeah.
This is from my garden. These are just little, my Rugosa roses. And I think I've mentioned this before, that it's very important with roses, if you're eating your own roses, to make sure you don't spray them. Roses naturally attract bugs. So when you go purchase them at the store, they use a lot of pesticides and in fresh cut flowers. So be sure to use your own and make sure that you're not spraying them with any pesticides, because you certainly don't want to ingest that. So rose is the most fun because the colors are great. So
yeah,
we're going to add, I'm just going to do this.
So is that just white vinegar?
This is white wine vinegar that I'm using today. I love white wine vinegar or red wine vinegar for culinary reasons. I just find that it's a nice, fresh, crisp kind of vinegar flavor. The acidity is pretty high, but I love the flavor profile of it. And I think it pairs really nicely with olive oil. So,
I don't know about you, Debrianna, but in our family, like our grandmother, the staple was not the balsamic. It was red wine vinegar with olive oil, salt, pepper, absolutely, and a little onion, or whatever.
That's it.
That was it. I think people, the whole salad dressing thing to me I find it very overly complicated. And a lot of store-bought salad dressings are full of sugar. We
don't like them here.
Yeah. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I had gestational diabetes. And so I had to really watch my sugar intake. And I was shocked at how much sugar was in prepared salad dressings that you buy over the counter. So one of the things I wanted to share with people too is how easy it is, like our grandmother did. If you're buying good, fresh, crisp lettuce, or your sliced tomatoes, or whatever it is that you're putting your dressing on, it's pretty quick to do it. You can either shake it in a little mason jar, or I just eyeball it, and it's a couple turns around with the olive oil, a couple turns around with the vinegar.
It's a family treat. What can I say? The Croatians don't measure. We just don't measure.
Don't have time. I don't have time to measure it. And honestly, it depends on what you like. I like things, my olive oil and vinaigrettes a little more on the vinegary side. So I go a little
I do too, actually.
Some people like a little more. If you have a really nice high quality olive oil that has a great flavor profile, you might want to go a little heavier on the olives. So it's up to you. So I'm just going to let this sit for a minute. I just put some of the roses in here. I'm just going to let it sit because in about 2 seconds, we're going to start to see some color bleed here. It's really cool. So I'm going to do an herb. We're going to do basil. This is just Genovese Italian basil. So same like we did. For the vinegar, you don't have to use the blender if you don't want to. I just find it's so quick. In about 3 or 4 hours, you can strain the plant matter out and you're good to go. Or because
that's fast.
It's really fast. Because we've ground up the basil, you can keep the basil in the vinegar if you'd like, and then you'll get little basil pieces in your vinegar.
Yum.
But it's up to you.
I like it that way.
Okay. So
then that's how we're going to do it.
My grandmother used to have the saying when she'd say, I know what I like. We do announce that sometimes. Okay, so easy peasy, put in your basil. And I do about, again, a 4-to-1 ratio. Put in your white wine vinegar. This is my brand new fancy blender. I'm very excited. This is the maiden voyage.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Well, that was really difficult.
That's it, huh?
Now we're done.
Wow.
So now we're going to take this. We'll pour it back in the mason jar.
Mason jar should be a sponsor of our show, Deborah.
I'm telling you.
No, they owe me. They owe me money.
Mason jar.
Money, Mason. Come on, Mason. Okay.
Every day we talk about
I know. I can't live without him. Once you go, Mason, you just, it's like
Don't go back.
Everything else. I'm like, why haven't I been using these? Why was I using all in reach? So as you can see, this is what happens. It'll be a little foggy for a little bit, and just like the olive oil, but this is much faster, the vinegar. Gravity will do the work for you, and so you just sort of set it on the counter. Okay. I'm going to do a quick rinse of this.
And you don't have to refrigerate it.
No.
Okay.
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 So that's the first one. Let me rinse this really quick.
And she's gone.
Where'd she go?
I love it.
Let me just put up my warning again.
Don't chug vinegar. Well, you know what? Okay.
Next we're gonna do another one of my favorites that I just started bottling and making this for my brand is orange peel. So and I put little orange blossoms in this also, and I also put dried marigolds because you get a nice orange color.
Wow.
Really pretty.
This is just orange peel dry, right? So we're gonna put some of that in there.
Okay.
Add our vinegar.
Did you dehydrate the orange peel?
I did. This is dried, dehydrated orange peel. Same thing.
Okay.
Give it a blast. This is going to be a little longer because we got to.
Can't you just leave the orange peels on the counter?
Did what?
If I just leave my orange peels on the counter around here, they'll dry out in 2 days.
Well, in Mexico, maybe. Yeah, Santa Fe, probably that would work. Just make sure when you know they're done when you break them and they snap.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You don't want them
Hollie, someone is saying hugs to Hollie, but we don't know who it is because they don't identify themselves.
It's pretty
my favorite vinegar I use almost every day, other than balsamic, is an orange flavored vinegar that I get from Trader Joe's.
I've had a lot of customers tell me that's one of their favorites too.
I love that vinegar. So I'm happy to see you make one because I will now do it.
So here you can see the orange color, right? And you're going to get, so this is the same thing. We'll put it on the counter. Give it a second. Let gravity do all the work for us. I'm going to get this mixing.
Oh, I see it's Anne. I can see it on, it's Anne Roylance.
Oh, Anne Roylance! Hi, Anne.
Hi, Anne.
Can I tell a little family story, Hollie? Can I tell a family story?
Can I stop you? No. Okay, go ahead.
So when our cousin Anthony was a little boy, our grandma used to say to him, "Okay, Anthony, I'm going to make the salad." And he would say, no, I just want a little bit of vinegar. I want to drink it. And he just would drink it like in a little cup every meal. He loved vinegar.
Yeah. I have my friend's son does that with balsamic. I actually do it when I go to the olive oil store. Some of those vinegars there, they're so delicious. You can just drink them.
Well,
okay, don't chug it, just drink it.
Yeah. It's I know in homeopathic medicine there are certain characteristics that people have. You know, some are one of them is salt and vinegar. That's sort of what your body constitution craves. And it clearly is a genetic thing in our family because I'm the same way. And both of my kids are the same way. My son, if I used to put olive oil and vinegar on the broccoli, on all the vegetables, that's how they would eat it. To this day, that's how I still make it because that's, of course, how my grandmother made it. But that when they were little, that's how I got them to eat it. They're like, oh, this, more vinegar on the broccoli. Okay. So now we're going to do rose, and this transformation is pretty amazing. You can already see just from the few seconds or minutes we've had it in here.
Oh, wow.
The rose colors are already starting to lose their color. So we'll put this in real quick, and then we'll put the rest of the rose colors.
Oh, so you're going to grind it up? You're going to grind it all the rose colors.
Yeah, we're going to give it a grind. You can, if you want to. If you don't want to deal with the blender or putting it in the blender, you can do the same thing in the mason jar and shake it up. And you're going to need to leave it in there probably for about 24 to 48 hours. But the blender will literally make this about a 3-hour process. Okay, here we go.
I guess the genetic trait explains why I eat an entire bag of salt and vinegar chips.
Yeah.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Like I can't stop eating them.
It's really
can't stop. I'll eat a whole bag.
I can put down a whole bag of those. Okay. So look, already we have this nice pink.
Oh, how pretty.
So
gorgeous.
So now we have the pink and the orange already, and we've got the pretty green. Right? So we're just, what you basically do is you're just going to let that sit for a few hours. And then through the magic of television,
we say that every day.
Wait, we don't really have much magic here. It's all girl power. Girl power.
Make our own girl power magic. We make it happen.
It's girl powered except for when David does the camera.
With the magic of television.
Oh, look at
that.
So this is rose petal, and then this is the orange blossom. So you get these gorgeous colors.
Really pretty.
And this is nice glass. You can put it in whatever glass you have. I always tell people reuse the glass that you have in your refrigerator that your sauce was in, or your Worcestershire sauce, or whatever it was. You know, these little hot sauce bottles are great to reuse and water. Yeah. And you just take a little filter, strain it, and then
to get a funnel. I don't have one. I need to get one.
I have all sizes. Of course I do.
You got to get some funnels. Of course you do. So one of the things that I remind people too is when keep the little plastic stopper thing at the top, you know, because otherwise you're going to pour your vinegar and it's all going to go really quickly. It's not like olive oil. It's not going to pour slowly. It's going to come out really quickly. So these little plastic caps just clip on, and then you put the lid on. So that way you kind of have to do the shake, you know?
Yep.
So that's just a note. If you are saving bottles, save the little plastic part too, and just run them through your dishwasher. Okay?
So can you tell me the secret of champagne vinegar?
So I have a marketing pet peeve.
What is it?
Vinegar. So my marketing pet peeve with champagne vinegar is that champagne is a process by which wine is turned into a sparkling wine. You can use any type of variety of grape you want. Most traditional champagnes are Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Those are the traditional grape varieties used in most champagnes. Now, you can only call something champagne if it's grown in the Champagne region of France. That's why it's called sparkling wine. They have the proprietary legal reason to call that. And if you call your sparkling wine made in the United States champagne, you get in big trouble and probably get fined. So, so if you're doing champagne vinegar, that means they have used probably a Pinot Noir Chardonnay based sparkling wine or champagne. And they've used that to help flavor the vinegar. So they've either taken that champagne, like we did white wine vinegar. So they've taken that wine, it's just sparkling and will go flat eventually, obviously. Added the mother vinegar and then turned it into a vinegar, or they've added champagne flavoring, some sort of concentrated flavoring of it, and added it to it, which is not good. But champagne is not a flavor. So I just wanted to get that everybody.
Not flavor.
Not flavor.
It's not a flavor, it's a process.
Okay, so we would have to
it's a delicious. Yeah, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay are two wonderful varieties, and are so you're in good hands by getting that. But you literally can make champagne out of any variety, and and now people are experimenting more and stuff. So you can just go to your store and you can turn around the label and read what variety is in your sparkling wine or your champagne. And you'll be surprised what kind of fun varieties.
But the only way to make it is vinegar, then it would be to actually start the mother and add the champagne to it.
Correct. Just like you would white wine, just like you're making red wine vinegar, same thing. Essentially it is wine. And it's made from a fruit, right? Same thing. So it's actually makes perfect sense that you could use that. It's just, there are several different ways of making champagne more fruity or more dry. The brut style, you see that on the champagne bottles. So that will have an impact on the flavor profile of the vinegar as well.
Right.
So, I feel like I am been duped by this marketing for years, because I have in my Green Goddess recipe to use champagne vinegar or tarragon vinegar, and sometimes I've even found champagne tarragon vinegar. So it's probably total BS, and it's just like white wine and they slapped a thing on, but I've been paying the higher price, and I actually convinced myself it tastes like champagne. And it's just like,
now they could have used
does have that taste, right?
They could have used champagne as the white wine or the red wine. And that's probably what they've done. So, but I just for like point of clarification for folks out there that the champagne is not a flavor. So you can make, but you can just, the point too is good that you can make lots of things out of vinegar, and anything, again, grapes, apples, all the other ideas people have, cultures, lots of cultures that can make, have vinegar in their cuisine, and whatever fruits are available. So that's it. So one of the things, that's it. So we have these 3. Now we're getting the colors. I'll take a photo of it and post it and see what it looks like with the stuff still in it. And then I'll strain it and do an after. And one of the things I like to do is I like to just slice some tomato, good romaine lettuce, lay it out on your platter, and basically, again, like Nana used to do, it's, a circle of vinegar. Always start, this is a good note, always start with your vinegar first. Because if you start with your oil first, you've just made an oil slick of all of your salad. So what would happen if you put something that's water-based on top of that? Slides right off. So start with your vinegar, do a round or two, circle around, then do a circle of your olive oil. I just so happen to make these fabulous salts. And so I do a little pinch, like with the orange. I'll do my orange and marigold salt just to give it an extra orange kick. You can do any flavor profile you want, or if you don't add any, or don't even have to add salt. Ground pepper. It's a whole nother show about peppercorns. Get it right. Gotta grind them. Pepper. And then depending on what flavor profiles you want to, we always do just a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder. And it's the best salad dressing in the world. And you didn't have to mix it. You didn't have to toss it. You're not adding any calories, with the exception of a little bit of olive oil, which is good fat for you anyway.
Yes.
So that's it. That's my
what's eating my romaine lettuce? I planted it and I went out there this morning and something chomped it.
Well, it depends. I always tell people, make sure you look, flip your leaves over and look on the inside, because that usually is a good indicator if it's some sort of aphid or infestation of something. They're
totally beheaded.
That sounds like a critter. Maybe
it does. It sounds like that friggin' squirrel.
A squirrel or a rabbit. We have all kinds of critters here too. Grasshoppers can take big chomp bites. You'd be surprised how big a grasshopper.
I know. I just went out and did my grasshopper thing today. I use NOAA bait. Do you use that?
No, I haven't had a problem here with them. Ants are more our issue here. I use diatomaceous earth. For that. But so far so good this year. It's the gophers for me. And that's my life.
I have a damn squirrel.
Hollie. The gophers versus Hollie. 2-1.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I have a damn squirrel. I have snails. Not a huge problem, but we are definitely involved in the snail relocation program.
That's very generous.
You know what I found today in my pansies? A baby praying mantis. It was so cute.
Nice.
Oh.
Yes, you want those.
Remind me to tell you my story, the praying mantis story. I won't do it now because it's a little long and we're at the end, but I definitely have a great praying mantis story.
Okay.
We're up for it. Yeah, beneficial bugs. You want those. That's the bad thing. If you spraying pesticides, you're going to get rid of all the good bugs too.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to see it.
Great. Yeah. Good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
All right, kids.
Well, thank you.
That's vinegars. Go enjoy. Make your own vinegars. Use any kind of dried fruit you want. Peaches are great. Nectarines. Things. Look for things in season too. Persimmons even. I saw some persimmons. Kiwis, another one that's great. Herbs that I love. Of course, tarragon people think of. Basil's nice. Oregano's good. The rose petals are, as you can see. I mean, look at this color.
They're gorgeous. Like I would take that, keep the bottle just to look at the color.
We just did I was invited to be in an article about women entrepreneurs in Edible East Bay that's coming out next week, which I'm really excited about. And I made these for the photo shoot and they just turned out amazing.
They're so pretty.
Yeah, it makes you happy when you see food. Beautiful food makes you happy. So don't be afraid to experiment with flavors and herbs and fruits that you like. Just dehydrate them first. And like I said, I'll post the instructions. As you can see, it was not particularly complicated. So
Thank you so much, Hollie. We always learn so much from you.
Thank you. We're excited to have you.
It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, you too.
See you in Mexico soon.
Yay!
I can't wait for you to come visit. Okay, everybody, Hollie's Homegrown. Go check it out. Instagram.
Yeah, Hollie's Homegrown. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Mind you, make your own vinegar.
Don't be afraid. That is the message.
You can do it.
Don't chug vinegar.
You can do it. You can do it.